Okay, we're live with Master Instructor Kim Young and doing a shop tour 2025 of his whole shop, his instruction area, everything that he does here. If there's any questions, I don't know where to look for them, but we'll figure it out. So, Kim, highlight sort of, we did a bunch of group sessions. I did some one-on-ones. You had some, a lot of questions during that. Sort of highlight what kind of students do you work with? How many countries? What's going on there?
So far to date, I have worked with over 7,000 students in over 62 countries, many of them being online. I've never actually met them in person. And just like Farhan here, we worked together online, and we just met for the first time in person this weekend. Couldn't be more grateful for you coming down. Yesterday, we worked with nearly 40 different students between private lessons and group instruction. Everybody had a great time, and everybody left smiling and a little bit more knowledgeable than how they started.
Awesome. And you always mention one thing, like you work with all kinds of students. Can you give us some examples?
From beginners to pros, I've worked with everybody from never holding a cue before, or even having some disabilities or different challenges, including amputees, all the way up to 800 Fargos and everywhere else in between. Between the physical, the mental, offense, defense, it doesn't really make a difference if it has to do with billiards and somebody has the desire to get better and they're not looking for a magic pill. This program might be right for them.
Awesome. How many countries have you serviced so far?
62.
62. Awesome. And any count on how many students you've dealt with over your whole career?
Last I checked, it was 7,150.
Awesome. And highlight sort of like what it is that you want to cover that first session, or how a typical session works for you.
It's always very individualized. I don't work out of a textbook. It's specifically tailored to that student. So the first thing we'll do is go over an assessment, and we're going to try and blend the line between what they want and what I think that they need. And so I'll have them shoot some shots, maybe run a rack of 9-ball if they're capable of doing so. Maybe it's just some basic, scratch the cue ball into the pocket, whatever that assessment looks like. From there, we'll talk about the basic fundamentals and mechanics, and we expand from there. Most of the time, I'll end up asking the student to do some self-assessing. Where do you think you are with offense, defense, mental, pocketing, positioning, patterning, so on and so forth. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't, but either way, it's very important to me that the student and I are on the same page about where we're going to create a goal and a timeline. How are we going to improve over the next month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and beyond?
And I see this logo on your shirt, the PBIA Instructor. What's this program, PBIA?
It stands for Professional Billiard Instructors Association, which was organized in 1992, previously the BCA Instructor Program. I am a Master Instructor for the PBIA, and this is one of the 7 accredited PBIA training academies in the world. And I'm also a level 4, which is the equivalent of master in the American Cue Sports Organization as well.
Awesome. You showed me some training tools on my first day that you sort of use in your lessons, and some of them I've seen, some of them I haven't. You mind showing us a few examples of them?
Sure. I'd love to show you my center point first and foremost. So the center point training cue is specifically designed with a very pointy type of tip. This is a polycarbonate tip, so it's very good for high impacts. As you can imagine, it wouldn't hold chalk even if you tried. And the purpose of this cue is to allow the student to self-correct. The brain is very good about being results-focused and not so much process-focused. So I would always encourage somebody to come take a lesson with an instructor, because we're going to focus on the process that gets the results of you cueing straight and hitting the cue ball where you told it to go, the way you told it to get there. But if you're interested in trying to self-correct and teach yourself, this could be a very good tool. It's super light, 15.5 ounces, really puts the emphasis on your own cueing mechanics, so you can aim and deliver through the center of the cue ball. And from there, of course, you can switch back to your regular cue. Half a tip of 7 o'clock English on the cue ball means a little something different once you have been able to align consistently to the middle of the cue ball.
Awesome. Mind showing us maybe like what happens if they hit too low or too high?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can demonstrate that for you. So, if I was to hit this cue say on the left side of the cue ball, just a little bit. Here's just about a quarter tip of left. The cue instantly deflects and squirts the cue ball to the right with a big miscue. If I was to hit just a little bit high on the cue, my cue goes right over the top of it. So what it does is it gives you instant feedback as to whether or not you hit the middle of the cue ball. If you take your time and your vision center's good, your alignment and stroke and delivery are all good, you should be able to hit the center of the cue ball, in which case it feels just like a regular cue, and it's a pleasurable sound. It actually plays really, really nice as long as you hit the middle of the cue ball, but you won't like it if you don't.
Yeah, it sounded a lot better than the other two. What are some other tools that you use?
We here like the IQ training ball for a couple of different reasons. So the IQ training ball made by Thomas Van Eck at IQclinic.com is available. Nice thing about this cue ball, this is an Aramith Premier ball that he has laser engraved at Jacoby with his symbol on here. Now the big part about the training ball is, number one, it's the same weight as a regular cue ball. So it's also available in the Pro Cup measles version as well.
Oh, it has the dots, okay.
And of course this also has the symbols engraved. So it's the exact same ball as the Aramith Pro Cup, and then this is the exact same ball as the Aramith Premier. So by engraving the symbols on here, this is the same weight as the regular cue ball, whereas many of the training balls have different masses, which is going to give you different physics reactions. If it's a lighter ball, such as some of the brands are, obviously that's going to be much easier to draw, and you're not going to be able to get the exact same physics as you would if it's the same mass. But the reason we really like this ball, even beyond that, is because the textured, it's not printed on or screen printed like many of the balls are. This is textured. It really allows the chalk, even some of the more clean chalks that people are using now, it allows the chalk to kind of stick on there. That's the purpose of a training ball, of course, isn't to play regular pool with, but to be able to say, I aimed at a particular spot. Now when I retrieve the ball, did I hit that spot or did I hit something different?
Awesome. And I see you have a whole pro shop over there. Mind walking us through it, some of the interesting stuff that you keep there?
Sure, yeah. We've got lots of different unique items throughout the store. We have over 450 different cues. Some of these unique items, we love working with small businesses. BridgeMate is made by Larry Holton, and he makes these BridgeMates, whether it be for handicapped individuals that need a device to be able to hold that cue, or you're just looking for something that's going to get you a little bit extra reach. It's really designed for one-handed pool shooting or to replace the mechanical bridge. Of course, we've got all sorts of different cues and chalks, lots of different unique items. 3D printed chalk holders here by CJP Billiards are really neat because these are universal, whereas many of the chalk holders are unique to being square, round, octagon, hexagon, all the different shapes. This one universal chalk holder fits all of them. So if you like to change between different chalks, that can be a really good option for you.
I saw you had cube cases as well.
Yes, the chalk cases are very, very popular for a lot of different reasons. Of course, it keeps the chalk clean and out of the mess in your bag. It also prevents the chalk from making a mess out of your bag, especially if you're investing in some more pricey chalks. You definitely want to protect those. And with a $1 cube, cube of chalk case, that can really make a big difference.
Yeah, especially with clothing and the case itself. You don't need to get dry cleaning.
That's right. All sorts of different, more unique bridges, shifty bridges. These are, wheels basically for the front of your cue. This is a unique item I've never seen anywhere else. Is the bridge jack, which actually raises up the front end of a regular mechanical bridge to help you get those shooting over the ball type of shots.
We got clocks.
We've got clocks. We've got wall decor. Anything to do with billiards. We've got over 4,000 SKUs in inventory here, and we have access to order thousands and thousands more. Basically, we carry everything that most of the major online retailers would carry, in addition to a lot of different products that most of them don't.
Awesome.
We also offer table installations. We sell pool tables. We do the pool table recoveries and repairs, whether that be changing the pocket angles or just changing the cloth, professional leveling, so on and so forth. within a reasonable radius. We're happy to travel and take care of those customers.
You also sell tables, don't you?
We do. Actually, the table that's in there that we use is one of the tables we sell. That's in Isabella, Manhattan, and it starts off at $34.95.
Nice. Any other brands you want to highlight?
Well, this is a new item that we have here. Beats Ball. Again, these are some unique type of items. The Beats Ball is a Bluetooth speaker. This is actually made by Jason Lynch, known as the Michigan Kid. He's a trick shot artist, and he makes some really good products there. They're very unique. It's nice to be able to listen to your music, whether you're at the bar scene, in a league match, or just driving around. We also have from Luigi's Candles. Again, we love supporting small businesses. The Luigi's Candles products are made by just a small business here based out of Endicott, New York, and they make all sorts of different things. So, again, while folks are here shopping, Mother's Day's coming up. That could be a very good thing. We make some wine bottle stoppers. Again, always trying to find that unique gift item for different people. We recognize many people are shopping for equipment here for different holidays. Father's Day, Mother's Day's coming up. Just got through Christmas. We always have birthdays, so whether it be a specific gift like a greeting card, along with a balloon, instead of getting a bouquet of flowers, maybe get a bouquet of chalks, hint, hint. And, of course, we're able to satisfy all of those different needs.
Awesome.
Of course, we've got extensive balls and racks selection. These pocket markers have been very, very popular, obviously, for many of the leagues that require pocket marking. We sell a lot of these different pocket markers, a lot of different unique designs, a lot of funny designs, which people really like. Tons and tons of apparel. Of course, we have our own branded items, which are always very popular. Many people purchase the Dragon Billiards brand without even realizing what we do, just because it's a super cool logo. Lots and lots of patches. Everybody likes to customize their cases or their different products. I mean, I think that's one of the coolest things about pool players is making things unique. They like to customize their cues. We customize ferrules. We have all sorts of different colors and designs. And many people know us from doing the clear ferrules with reverse tenants. But of course, we've got all sorts of different colors and designs that we can do as far as that goes. So whether they're customizing their cue with a new wrap or ferrule, or they're customizing their case with patches, we've got them covered. Well over 100 different styles of patches available there. We've got lots of different training devices. Of course, we can see the IQ there. Moonlighting Billiards is another great partner of ours. And they make acrylic templates to help set up the drills. Folks follow us. We've got thousands of followers on Facebook that look to us for free tips and drills every day. And many times we're setting those up using the Moonlighting Billiards drill partners. And that way we're able to get unique and consistent spacing, which is very, very important to any player, is consistency. Of course, these are just some more of our hundreds and hundreds of cues that are available. If we don't have it in stock, obviously we can't keep every possible cue that's available in stock, but we try to keep a pretty good selection. Normally about 450 cues are on hand, and we can change the weights. And one of the things is, with two instructors here, we're very good about helping people fit to the right cue. Not all cues are going to be the same length. For example, most of the standard cue lengths are going to be 58 inches, and for the taller players, we have extensions available, both forward and rear extensions. That way they can keep their grip hand at that perfect 90 degrees at the time of contact that we want. On the same token, for the shorter players or ladies and kids, we also have shorter cues, whether that be junior cues in different heights ranging from 36 to 54 inches, or even some of the ladies' cues made by Athena, they're 57 inches. It just helps keep that balance point in a more favorable location so that there's not too much weight in the back, and when they stroke through, the tip doesn't come up in the air. And that can be very, very useful, just to have the right equipment for the right person.
And, I seen something online. You can test any of them?
Absolutely.
I could, if I'm interested, even your most expensive cue, I can go to that table behind us and test it out.
Absolutely right. That's one of the benefits about shopping with us. If you're able to come here with in person, people drive many hundreds of miles to come here and shop in person, just so that they can test it. You know, shop it online. Obviously, we are able to do online shopping as well. And we do free shipping. You know, on cues over $100, so on and so forth. Pretty much all the same stuff that most of the online retailers would offer. But of course, if you can come here and shop in person, that can be a really nice perk just to be able to try it before you buy it.
And what sort of advice do you give people who, like, they're looking for their first cue?
Well, the number one thing is find something that feels good to you and looks good to you. You know, if we look good, we feel good, and I think that the cue being an extension of our hands is very, very important for that. You don't have to spend a lot of money on a cue. I think it's important that it is straight, but you want to find something that feels good and looks good. If it looks good to you, regardless of what the price is, if you like it, you're probably going to be more apt to try and play with it. And if it feels good to you, it's going to feel a little bit more like a natural extension. Now, the cue itself is not going to make you a better player, in my belief. It's always going to be you, not the cue. So definitely take a lesson with a certified instructor. Just like if you were to learn how to play guitar, you're not just going to pick it up and try to figure it out on your own. You're going to try and get some help and be as good as you possibly can be. But the equipment can definitely make a big difference. So try out a cue at your local pro shop and find one that feels right and looks right to you. And then, of course, we'll get into the technical specs as far as what's going to make you better, what's going to allow you to do different things. Smaller tips give you further away from the miscue limit and things like that. So, you know, of course, your pro shop technician should be able to assist you with all of that.
And you also do, oh yeah, you have how many tips? You showed me a bunch of tips earlier.
We definitely have well over 100 tips. It's probably more like 120 different varieties of tips, but it could be even more than that. It's hard to keep up with all the new tips that are coming out all the time, but we do a pretty good job of that. If something's being advertised, we try to bring it in, and we keep a very large selection. We are a Kamui authorized tips installer, and you know, we're very proud to not only install Kamui tips and sell those, but of course many other brands as well.
And so we gave some tips for beginner players. How about like an intermediate player for me who's like in a plateau, I'm looking to get to the next level? Any equipment advice, any lessons advice that you might have?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a lessons advice. Generally speaking, if you're an intermediate player, you already play like a pro one shot at a time, right? If you're able to put the ball in and get the cue ball where you want it to be for the next shot, you did exactly the same thing that a pro would have done. And you did it the same way that they would have done it. The difference is that the pro can do it many times in a row, and they're very consistent, whereas the intermediate player, something changes. So take a look at your routine, look at your timing, your cadence, see how much time you're spending in between shots. Slow yourself down. And the number one thing I'd say as far as those routines go is to remember that in the professional pool arena, we have three types of players. We have the commentator that says this is what's about to happen. And they don't ever miss a shot. They spend all the time. They don't miss those shots because they're not taking the shots. They're just literally standing there planning it out. I think he's going to go about 2 rails, medium speed, bring it back to the middle of the table. If you're shooting faster than the commentator would be able to describe what you're about to do, chances are you're shooting a little bit too fast and not taking enough time in the planning phase. Then the player, of course, they don't do anything other than back, forth. It's just an elbow movement, no extra body movements that aren't necessary, and they're not speaking at all. So if you're down on the shot and you're still thinking or speaking, then you're still sitting in the commentator's spot when you should be doing the playing. So that's the plan, that's the do, and then the reflect part, of course, is the spectator. Everybody else that's in that arena other than the commentator and the player is just a spectator, including the referees. They're the ones that pop up and say, hey, what happened? So if you're the type of player that every night on Tuesday league night is being told, hey, you popped up, there's a good chance that you were popping up to see what happened. Well, if you were really in control of the shot, you already know what happened. So that's the plan, do, and reflect phases of a routine. Take a little bit more time to know what's going to happen, execute the plan, and stay down long enough to see why did it happen. Not what happened, but did my cue go straight? Well, if my cue went straight, obviously I must have aimed wrong if I missed the shot.
I noticed some gloves and chalks on just to your right over there.
Yes, we've lots and lots of different types of gloves. All of everybody's favorite brands: Caden, 3 Seconds, Kamui, McDermott, Town. Tiger, Q-Tech. I mean, the list goes on and on. Just like tips and many of the other items that are in the billiards world. We've got hundreds and hundreds of different varieties. We keep all of the ones that people seem to request the most of, and we're always happy to bring in more just in case we are missing what they're looking for. But pretty much all the major players are here.
Awesome. And how about this wall of chalk holders that you have? This is kind of interesting.
The chalk holders are great. My kids actually make those. I've got 4 boys. 3 of the little guys, they like to get a little bit craftsy, and so they make these chalk holders. These are different sorts of designs, whether they be favorite characters. We even have little cars and tools and bling items. And so what they do is they take these items and they'll put on a square, a round, or a Predator 1080 octagon chalk holder cup. And that way, people can put their favorite chalk onto one of these pocket marker holders.
Awesome. It's an awesome shop you have. At the moment I walked in, there was so much stuff to look at, so much stuff to discover. A lot of times we don't see something like, especially this. I would have never seen a Winnie the Pooh chalk holder made for Tom Chalk, for example. Anywhere, even online, I haven't seen anything like that. Definitely a great place to visit. Any closing remarks? Anything else that you want to highlight about your shop or your business?
Our motto is train better, do better, and shop better at DragonBilliardsInstruction.com, and we really mean that. Every single thing that we're doing here is always trying to make it better. And the staff here recognizes that when they're not busy, they're always trying to make something better, whether that be themselves by reading a book or learning a little bit more about the products. When we have a student coming in, it's always with the intention of making them better. So that would be my remarks to anybody that's watching. Ask yourself, what am I doing to get better today? If you go into practice and you don't know what you're going to make better, and you get done with your practice and you don't know what you made better, then all you did was really just bang some more balls around. So go into things with a plan, whether that be you're going to make your equipment better, your game better, your draw stroke better, your mental game better, or just yourself, your time management better, right? Whatever that is, go to the gym. Always try to make something better every single day. And I'll keep doing my part to try and make the billiards world a little bit better too.
So, and one other thing I noticed, I forgot to mention, your prices are they're lower than most online retailers. You mentioned you had free shipping. There's also something about some point system. So explain why it's better to shop with you rather than, the next online store.
Well, quite frankly, my passion is not with the equipment. So I'm never trying to sell anything to anybody. I'm just trying to match solutions to problems. And so when somebody comes to me and they might have an idea of what they're looking for because they think it's going to solve their problem. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. But my objective as an instructor is to help people get better. So if that's the right solution to the problem, I'm going to help you find the right product. And if not, then I'm going to try and steer you into what I do think is going to help you. And that's something that's a little bit different than the equipment-based retailers, the ones that are, their profits are really made on the equipment, whereas my profits really made on instruction and service. The equipment is just another piece of what we do. So along with that, we're able to keep the prices really low here by focus on having a nice low overhead. We're not in a big plaza, but we're still able to handle obviously all the inventory that anybody would need. Our shop is a little bit bigger than most pro shops, as most of the customers here tend to attest to. So with that, we have our Dragon Points. It's our loyalty rewards program. You get 1 point for every $5 spent. And as you stack up those points, you can trade them in for percentage discounts off of products. We just saved somebody $1,200 on a pool table a couple weeks ago because they cashed in for 20% off. You can get free lessons with myself or the other instructor, Ronnie Sullivan here. Get cash towards purchases here. So our rewards program is just our way of saying, hey, thanks so much for choosing us. We know you have lots and lots of different choices for where you can shop, and we really appreciate it when you shop with us. So here's a little something back. Again, we're able to keep our prices lower than most because we keep that overhead down, and the equipment side is not the major piece of what we do. We focus on making our profits and paying our bills off of the services that we provide.
And once a month you have some clinics? How does that work?
Well, we do clinics all the time. I'm on the road, quite often, many weeks out of the year, and I will bring my service to your location. But for the people that are coming here, we have monthly open group clinics where anybody can show up, and they're always topic based. For example, last night we were working for a 90-minute session. It's a $35 clinic where I'm the lead instructor on that, sometimes co-teaching with another one. And that topic was on kicking and banking with numerical diamond systems. But that topic changes every single month. Next month on May 24th, we'll be playing with patterns, talking about 8-ball and 9-ball patterns. And then, of course, introduction to cue ball control in June. You can see all the different topics that we do every single month. For the rest of the year, you can visit our website at dragonbilliardsinstruction.com. But if somebody wants to hire us for a private group session, maybe they're heading out to Vegas and they want to get their entire team together of different skill levels to talk about how do we identify double hit fouls or how do we prevent them. Maybe it's a broad topic that everybody can use, speed control, defense, things like that. We're happy to do that for any type of skill levels.
Awesome. Anything else on your mind?
No, I just can't be more grateful for you coming down here and spend this weekend with me. I know the students had a fantastic time. I had a fantastic time, and looking forward to your next visit already.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for walking us through your beautiful shop and all the beautiful equipment that you have. And yeah, you're making the pool community better one step at a time. So I hope you follow through with that goal.
Thank you so much. Train better, do better, and shop better at dragonbilliardsinstruction.com.